This is Jessica Koch, and this is another Profound Professional interview series. We have been running these interviews for 7 years now. We bring you industry experts from all over the world. They help you improve your personal life and grow your business. Today is no different. We have Kurt, and he is the fun finance professor. I don't hear fun and finance all together all the time. And he is celebrating with us. Some people call it Fat Tuesday, some people call it Mardi Gras. Whatever you are celebrating today, we are celebrating the fun finance professor. So, welcome, Kurt.
Thank you, Jessica. Thanks for having me.
So, how did your journey and path take you down the road to to put you in a place where you decided this is what I'm going to do? This is how I'm showing up in the world. This is how I'm serving the community and my clients, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be the fun finance professor. What led you down that path?
Well, like many stories, it did not originally target the end result. But I spent my 20s trying to save the world, but I was also really just passionate about finding the truth in things and this insatiable curiosity. And so a after I did a year of spiritual boot camp with the Jesuit priests, I was working in these nonprofits. I was a high school teacher. I wanted to be more like the people on the board of the nonprofits where I was working.
Mhm.
They were clear-minded. They made decisions with data, and they weren't afraid of conflict. They were successful in business. So I went and got my master's in business from Tulane University, and and then I kept going with that. It was finance that I was studied there. I worked at a bank for 7 years, and so the opportunity to teach my dream class came up. I'm teaching a class at Regis University. And along the way, I acquired a client recently who has hired me as his fractional CFO.
Mhm.
And the transformation that I would see in my students, I'm now seeing in business, and it's kicking out financial results in,
Mhm.
bottom line, the net profit increasing, and I'm a catalyst for that. It feels great. So I want to do more of that, and that's what's led me to be a fractional CFO, and
Mhm.
I'm also doing the public speaking side of things. So I think that people want to know their place in the world, and I want to show them that in a meaningful and fun way.
Well, I think that's fantastic. So, a customer comes to you, they see our amazing podcast because all you great people watching are wonderful and have followed us for so long. And you just love pushing that share button and commenting and supporting us. And we're so grateful to you. And because of that, someone has reached out to you, Kurt, and said, Hey, I think I need the fun finance professor. What's the next step in their journey with you there?
So it's really just to reach out. I will have up in the next 2 weeks after this interview. I promise within the next 10 days, I will have kurtgerwith.com up and running. And so there's a form to contact me there. I'm also easily found on any Google search. I'm the only Kurt Gerwitz of significance on the interwebs. And so find me through the LinkedIn and I do have a good YouTube channel to start following. It's a new one also there. And so LinkedIn is probably the best bet, or email kurt@gerwitz.com. And what we'll do is we'll go through, just a discovery call to see what your needs are. Typically, I'm serving two kinds of people. I'm serving small businesses who want a CFO services. They want
Mhm.
financial training for their people, and we can move the needle in their company on that. Or they
Mhm.
want a CFO wants to make better financial decisions himself. He wants to know how to have better conversations with his CPA and his bookkeeper, and I can absolutely move the needle on the company on that. Or over here, I have opportunities for event planners and podcast hosts who want to bring me on to tell them stories about the markets and make it and we find that the broader transformational piece of finance through there. So to answer your question, the first step is let's have a conversation.
That's wonderful, and, I just tell you that this is not dry stuff he's talking about. Well, typically, maybe it would dry. But if he has you on your podcast, or and you have him go through the depths of what's happening in the economy now, there's going to be a giggle or two. A, because, well, let's just face it, some of it brings its own comedy with it. It's a little funny. And B, because he just has this great personality that your audience and you will enjoy this topic in a way you never thought you could before. So we love that. Can you give us a tip that we can use today? Everybody watching, something they can do today that will help them be better, actually have more fun with their finances, and hopefully have more finances.
Yeah, the tip I would give you is make it relevant. So
Mm,
your finances are the scoreboard for your company,
mm,
and what you want is between 3 and 7 KPIs that you look at. And I find that entrepreneurs should be addicted to looking at their numbers, and some of them are afraid to do that. I can do some financial therapy along the way, but if you have just the 3 metrics, how do you measure yourself? Answer that question. You'll
mhm.
be able to move the needle.
I love that. That's great advice. So one of the reasons and one of the things we did from show number one was made sure we featured a cause that was close to the heart of our guests so that we could take this moment of pause. Yes, this is a great moment to hit the share button. You just might inspire someone to do something good, to get involved in the cause in their neighborhood, or even check out the cause that Kurt shares. So share with us a cause that's close to your heart.
I'd be happy to, Jessica. Let me take my hat off for this. So this is the university where I teach. It is a nonprofit, accepts donations, and we are a Hispanic serving organizations, recently certified in that. But we're here in Denver, Colorado, and what my piece of it is how the financial education can be transformative. So we're helping people through traditional education path.
Mm, I love that. So really helping in that space of education on this topic, which is of such great value. So look at some of the nonprofit universities near you, or maybe check into this one directly and see how you can support them, time, treasure, or talent, or just do something nice for someone today. Hey, if we can inspire you just to be nice to someone today and go out of your way, do that expected act of random act of kindness, then we've done something good here today too, by being a little bit of that inspiration. Don't forget to share this. You don't know who out there really needs some extra support in financial education. And then I would ask, you can see the books behind me. I am just obsessed with getting myself as much knowledge to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be. So I ask all of our guests to share a book that inspired their personal life or helped them grow their business. What's the book that comes to mind for you?
So I read a spiritually transformative book called Awareness by Anthony DeMello, former Jesuit priest. I say former, he passed away. He was a
Mm,
Jesuit priest. And you know what's stolen my thunder there is that Tim Ferriss that's the book he gives to people now. So it's also a vote of confidence that this is the right book to be recommended. But I read it when I was 16 years old, and
wow.
it's sort of an Eastern philosophy about radical love, radical acceptance. But it's kind of said through a Western lens, so it's accessible to.
Mm.
And yeah, it changed my life as a kid, and I still go back to it frequently.
So tell us the name of it one more time. What's the name of the book?
Yes, it's awareness. Just one
Awareness.
word, awareness.
I love that, and it's beautiful, and I love that you received it at 16. One of our guests late last night that I interviewed, she is an acclaimed author, and her books are all in Barnes and Noble all across the country. And one of the books she received from her father on her 16th birthday was Think and Grow Rich. And she dog-eared and underlined it and wrote in it, and to the point that the pages fell apart and she had to buy herself another copy. And I just wish books like Awareness and Think and Grow Rich were included in a curriculum within the school systems for 16-year-olds so that they can think about mindset. They can think about building generational wealth. They can learn more about money and living a life that they design. So I think that you sharing that book was right on target and right on mark. And I just hope that at some point the younger generation gets access to these materials so much sooner than I know I got my hands on them, right? So I think that's lovely. Now, before we begin to go to the final segment and wind down in the show, Kurt, is there anything about you personally or your business that you'd like to share?
Um, I'm at a place now in my situation that it's a great place to get in early because I'm
Mm,
launching the website in 2 weeks. You asked me about if I'm writing a book, and
mhm,
I'm committed to writing a book now. So
mm.
it's a good time to get in with me at the ground floor.
That's right. We did talk about a book that might be stewing. So you'll have to keep your eyes peeled and check out his website for when that launches and releases, and many more details on it. What's the general idea or thought behind the message you are pulling together for your book? Can you share that with us?
Yeah, the initial stages, I'm confident it's going to be about the transformative power of financial education.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great book out there called The Accounting Game, and it teaches accounting through going through a lemonade stand, and it's step by step. It's almost like a textbook and a workbook. Mine would be about, once you, so not just accounting, but the finance piece of it, where you're looking at the analysis, you're looking at the
Mm-hmm.
ratios, you're learning how to look at an income statement. And
Mm-hmm.
just by looking at those things, by putting a metric on yourself, by those KPIs that I talked about, how
Mm-hmm.
can that work to transform an individual would be half the book, and then the other half would be how it works on teams. Once
Mm-hmm.
it's a clear metric, what's possible, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be case studies in the power of financial learning.
I love that. That sounds fantastic. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that amazing book launch that we'll be checking and tapping on your shoulder now, Kurt, to say, hey, how's that book coming? So nothing like some good accountability and a public statement to make things happen. I love that. Hey, if you're watching, you're thinking, wait, I'm an author or I have a book stewing in me. I am an individual who can help someone's personal life be better. I'm a business expert or a professional who can help someone grow their business. I should be on Jessica's show too. Hey, I totally agree with you. Reach out to us and our team, and my team will get you directions on how to get yourself scheduled and booked. And here's the thing, here's the deal. If you're an industry expert and you can help someone improve their life or grow their business, guess what you know? You know other industry experts that should be on the show. So don't be selfish, be someone's hero, be their hero and mine. Introduce those guests, potential guests to us, and we'll see about getting them featured too. That could be great. Hey, before we say goodbye, before we let Kurt go and get back to very important university professor work, we are going to ask him to share one final piece of information or inspiration. So, as we close out, what do you have for us, Kurt?
I find that entrepreneurs can sometimes be afraid of talking about their numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And, on the other side of that dragon is the treasure. So get the help and support you need. Get somebody to hold your hand to walk you through how to use your numbers to grow your business.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Data is dazzling. Data is your friend. Data can be fun, and you can have fun with Kurt, the fun finance professor. I've hoped you've had as much fun, Kurt, being on our show as I have had having you.
Yeah, it's been a blast. It's no Mardi Gras in New Orleans, but it's a
Oh,
call.
well, what can you do? But at least we got to spend it together and we got to spend it with you. So, all of you out there watching, all of you out there with the heart and the kindness to share, we are so very grateful for you and we appreciate you. And I'm going to close us out. I am your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. And please, please remember always be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.